Right now, thousands of cruise passengers are living through their worst nightmare. Trapped at sea, caught in the grip of a tropical cyclone. Instead of sipping cocktails by the pool, they're bracing against howling winds, watching massive waves slam into the ship, and waiting for news on when they can safely return to shore. Cruise lines always plan for unpredictable weather, but no one expected a storm of this magnitude to form so quickly, leaving multiple ships, including Royal Caribbean's Harmony of the Seas and Carnival's Mardi Gras, stranded in dangerous waters. Passengers on board are documenting the chaos, sharing chilling videos of the ship rocking violently, plates shattering in restaurants, and deck chairs flying across the pool area. One passenger on board Harmony of the Seas wrote on social media, "The ship is just sitting here, waiting for an opening. We've been delayed for over 24 hours and have no idea when we'll be able to dock." Another traveler aboard a Carnival cruise described their experience as terrifying, saying, "We were having dinner when the whole ship lurched sideways. Glasses fell, people screamed, and now the captain says we might have to wait out the storm at sea for 2 more days." So how are the cruise lines handling this crisis? Royal Caribbean issued an emergency update saying they are monitoring conditions closely and rerouting ships to avoid the worst of the storm. Carnival reassured passengers that all safety protocols are in place and that their crew is trained to handle extreme weather. However, for passengers stuck on board, those statements bring little comfort. Many are growing frustrated over delayed itineraries, extended sea days, and uncertainty about when they'll be able to return home. But the storm's effects don't stop with the ships currently trapped at sea. The ripple effect is causing major disruptions for upcoming cruises as well. Several ships have been forced to delay their arrivals, which means thousands of passengers waiting to embark on their vacations are now facing cancellations and rebookings. "We saved for this cruise for months," one future Carnival passenger wrote online, "and now we just got an email saying our sailing is canceled because the ship won't return in time. This is a disaster." Experts say that while cruise ships are built to withstand storms, being stuck in a cyclone is still incredibly dangerous. The biggest concerns? High winds, rogue waves, and motion sickness among passengers. Maritime safety consultant Captain James Porter explains, "A ship caught in a cyclone can experience wind speeds of over 100 miles per hour, making open decks unsafe and potentially causing stability issues if the storm is strong enough. The goal is always to keep the ship away from the worst of the storm, but when ports close, there's nowhere to go but to ride it out at sea." This is why cruise lines work closely with meteorologists and port authorities to make last-minute itinerary changes whenever needed, but sometimes even the best planning isn't enough. As the storm continues to rage, these passengers are left waiting and wondering, when will they be able to return to safety? And for those booked on upcoming cruises, the question is, will their trip even happen? One thing's for sure, this is one cruise adventure no one will ever forget. Right now, a dangerous tropical cyclone is raging across the open sea, trapping multiple cruise ships from Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and other major cruise lines. Passengers on board have been sharing videos of towering waves crashing against the ship and the eerie silence as the vessel remains in a holding pattern, unable to dock safely. One passenger aboard the Royal Caribbean's Harmony of the Seas shared a video saying, "The ship is just sitting here. No one knows when we'll be able to move again." Another traveler on a Carnival cruise described the experience as terrifying as the ship rocked violently during dinner. So how are cruise lines handling the situation? Royal Caribbean issued a statement saying their top priority is passenger safety and that ships are being directed to avoid the worst of the storm. Carnival also reassured travelers that while itineraries are being adjusted, crew members are trained for extreme weather conditions. But even when the storm passes, the effects won't be over. Several ships have been forced to delay arrivals, meaning thousands of passengers won't be able to disembark as scheduled. This in turn is causing a ripple effect for upcoming cruises, with cancellations and rebookings creating chaos. For those currently stuck at sea, the uncertainty is the worst part. Will they get home on time? Will their safety be compromised? That all depends on how this storm develops. A relaxing family vacation quickly turned into a medical emergency for one cruise passenger when her child was injured in an elevator accident. The mother, who was traveling aboard a popular cruise line, shared that her child's hand was caught in the closing elevator doors, leading to a painful injury. Instead of immediate assistance, the mother claims she was shocked when she received a $506 charge from the cruise line for medical services. She took to social media writing, "I was in complete disbelief. My child was hurt in their elevator, and instead of an apology, they handed me a bill." So why was she charged? Cruise lines operate under different medical policies than land-based hotels. On most ships, medical services are treated as out-of-pocket expenses, just like going to a private doctor. Even if an injury happens due to a ship's facilities, passengers often still have to pay for medical treatment. Cruise industry experts explain that unless a clear case of negligence is proven, the cruise line is not automatically responsible for covering medical costs. This sparked outrage online, with many travelers demanding cruise lines take more responsibility for onboard accidents. Others, however, pointed out that most cruise contracts include these terms, meaning passengers agree to them when booking. So, was the charge justified? That's up for debate, but one thing is clear: travelers should always be aware of cruise ship policies before setting sail. Cruise ships allow a lot of things on board, everything from strollers and scooters to musical instruments. But one item that remains strictly prohibited: bicycles. And recently, a frustrated Carnival Cruise Line passenger decided to challenge that rule. The passenger took to social media to ask why they weren't allowed to bring their bike on a cruise, arguing that it would be the perfect way to explore ports. They wrote, "I don't understand why bikes are banned. I want to get around ports on my own and save money instead of paying for overpriced excursions or rentals." Carnival didn't take long to respond, and their answer was straightforward. Bikes are not allowed due to safety risks, storage concerns, and embarkation logistics. Unlike suitcases that can be tucked away in a stateroom, bicycles take up a significant amount of space and could be hazardous in crowded hallways. Another major factor: rough seas. Cruise ships are constantly in motion, and anything with wheels, like bikes or skateboards, can roll around unpredictably, posing a danger to passengers and crew. Carnival also pointed out that in an emergency, bulky items like bicycles could block escape routes, making evacuations more difficult. But safety isn't the only reason bikes are banned. According to Carnival's statement, many ports do not allow passengers to bring personal bicycles ashore due to local regulations. Some countries have strict environmental laws, while others don't want the liability of personal transportation mixing with busy pedestrian areas. As expected, the response sparked a debate among cruise lovers. Some passengers completely agreed with Carnival's rule, saying bikes could be more of a hassle than a convenience. One commenter wrote, "Imagine hundreds of people trying to roll their bikes through a cruise terminal. Chaos." However, others felt Carnival should reconsider, at least for foldable or compact bicycles. These bikes take up much less space and could be stored inside staterooms. One frustrated traveler argued, "If I can bring a massive suitcase, why can't I bring a small foldable bike? It makes no sense." Interestingly, while Carnival and most major cruise lines have a blanket ban on bicycles, some luxury and expedition cruise lines take a different approach. Some high-end cruises actually provide bicycles for passengers to use at ports, allowing for guided bike tours and self-guided exploration, but these are carefully controlled and often come with strict rules. For those who still want to explore ports on two wheels, there are workarounds. Many destinations offer bike rental services, allowing passengers to pick up a bicycle near the port and return it before reboarding. Some cruise-sponsored excursions even include guided bike tours, which can be a great alternative to bringing your own. From stranded cruise ships battling a cyclone, to a mother hit with a shocking medical bill, and even a debate over bike policies, this week in the cruise world has been nothing short of chaotic. If there's one takeaway, it's this: always expect the unexpected at sea. Whether it's weather delays, hidden fees, or surprising rules, being informed before your trip can save you a lot of stress. What do you think about these stories? Should cruise lines be handling things differently? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to stay updated to the latest cruise news and information. See you in the next video.